And just like that, it's over. On March 24th, 2026, OpenAI officially pulled the plug on Sora. Yep, their most spectacular, most ambitious project, gone. The AI video generator that absolutely captivated the world's imagination just vanished. So the big question on everyone's mind is not just what happened, but why a technology with so much incredible promise met such a sudden, shocking end. This was the official tweet, the one that sent absolute shockwaves through the entire tech world. For the creators, for the investors, for all of us watching, this wasn't just a product being sunset. It really felt like the end of an era. The dream of this widely accessible, consumer-friendly AI video revolution, led by the biggest name in the game, OpenAI, well, it was officially over. But this didn't come completely out of nowhere. If you look back, the warning signs were flashing bright red. On January 10th, boom, they cut off free access entirely. Then by March 13th, the original Sora 1 model was officially retired. And just 11 days after that, the announcement came that the entire app and API were shutting down. It was a stunningly fast collapse. To really understand the fall, though, we first have to appreciate the magic. So let's take a quick step back and remember what made Sora feel like such a titan in the first place. Sora 2 wasn't just an update. It was a revolution. It went way beyond these short, silent little clips. It was generating full scenes, up to 25 seconds long, and get this, with synchronized audio. Its understanding of physics, cause and effect, was just uncanny. And with features like cameos that let you literally put your own face into these simulated worlds, it's no surprise everyone was calling it the GPT 3.5 moment for video. And all that ambition, it was supposed to culminate in this one massive deal. A deal that was meant to secure its future forever. A planned $1 billion partnership that would fuse the heart of Silicon Valley with the biggest name in Hollywood. And that partner was Disney. Just imagine this. The plan was to bring over 200 iconic characters from Marvel, Star Wars, Pixar, and Disney Animation right into the Sora engine. It would have allowed fans, you and me, to generate our own videos with our heroes. It was supposed to be this landmark fusion of technology and entertainment. So with that kind of power and a $1 billion deal on the table, how on earth did it all go so wrong? Well, the autopsy reveals 3 primary causes of death. Sora's collapse was really caused by a perfect storm of 3 interlocking pressures. The running costs were just unsustainable, there was an unwinnable legal battle raging, and there was a ruthless strategic shift happening inside OpenAI itself. So let's start with cause number 1, the compute burn. The cost was astronomical. Bill Peebles, the guy leading Sora at OpenAI, he admitted it himself. He said, "Our GPUs are melting." The sheer processing power needed to generate this kind of high-fidelity video at scale was just completely and utterly unsustainable. Now, OpenAI tried to fight that fire with money. They moved super aggressively to a paid model, right? They completely cut off free access and started pushing users toward a $20 plus plan or even a $200 pro plan. But the math just didn't add up. The revenue they were getting from consumer subscriptions was like a drop in the ocean compared to the massive ongoing cash burn it took to just keep the servers running. The second cause of death? A legal minefield. See, OpenAI's whole model was built on an opt-out system. That meant the burden was on creators to find their work and ask for it to be removed. But rights holders all over the world were demanding prior permission, arguing that consent has to be given before you train on something, not after the fact. This wasn't just a simple disagreement, it was a fundamental impasse. And believe me, this wasn't just some theoretical debate. It led to massive global pushback. Japan's Content Overseas Distribution Association, which represents giants like Studio Ghibli and Square Enix, demanded that OpenAI stop training on their irreplaceable treasures. And in a real twist of irony, Disney itself was out there sending cease-and-desist letters to other AI companies for the very same copyright issues. The legal ground was literally crumbling right under Sora's feet. And that brings us to the final nail in the coffin, a cold, hard business decision, the IPO pivot. You see, OpenAI is gearing up for a massive initial public offering in late 2026. And to do that, they needed a clean house. They needed to look as lean and profitable as possible. And that meant ruthlessly cutting any unprofitable side missions. And that blockbuster Disney deal? Turns out it never actually closed. Not a single dollar ever changed hands. So, for a company that's about to go public, Sora looked like a massively expensive, legally radioactive, and frankly, unprofitable project. It had to go, so the company could focus on its core, revenue-generating enterprise AI. So, Sora is gone. But the market that it pretty much created is now booming, and a new duopoly has risen from its ashes to completely dominate the space. Two major players immediately filled the vacuum that Sora left behind. You've got Runway's Gen 4.5, which has basically taken the crown for physics accuracy and how well it follows prompts. And then there's Google's Veo 3.1, which excels where Sora was just getting started, creating consistent, multi-shot scenes with native audio generation. You know, Sora's death leaves us with a really stark lesson. Groundbreaking innovation? That's the easy part. Surviving the brutal economics of scale and the tangled web of copyright law, that is the real test. And it leaves us with one pretty provocative question. Who's next?